now that they have the tournament going there, that you'll be able to see a lot of what Indiana basketball really is all about.
Absolutely, and looking forward to a good year. The Big Ten. We've been talking about that, how tough the Big Ten's going to be. My gosh, man, it's just going to be a bloodbath. But the season gets started next week with some non-conference games. Indiana opens up with Tennessee Tech on Wednesday. I'll be there, and we'll be doing. Actually, I think we'll be doing the post-game show with Todd Leary afterwards too. We'll get that all scheduled, set up. But
Nice.
want to make sure we have that guys set up for you. But man, the season's here. We got the big time football game tomorrow. Verdell is number 9. Indiana goes to Ohio State, number 3. Man, they are a 3-touchdown underdog, and I'm having problems with that spread. But I think Vegas is looking at the end of the game, and that Ohio State wants to maybe tack on some bonus points, some style points for the pole vaulters or whatnot. But man, Indiana's not 3 touchdowns worse than them, I don't think, in a normal circumstance.
Well, to me, there's no way that you can just bypass all the things that Indiana has done and say that they're a 3-touchdown, underdog, especially with no fans. Now, if there was fans in there, maybe you could see that, but right now, I don't see that being a big factor. And I think that's another chip to add onto the shoulder of Indiana. We need all the gasoline we can use right now, and I think that's another bulletin material type of thing to put on that Coach Allen will probably use. And let's be honest, who has Ohio State really beat as well? You know what I mean? Let's look at it. Let's be honest on both sides. So I think it's going to be a great game, and I think I'm hoping the IU gets upset.
Man, I would just not as a fan, just as if someone who covers them, would just love to see the craziness that would fall out if Indiana upsets Ohio State, because it would go absolutely ballistic crazy. Indiana would then be, I don't know how you can keep them out of the top 4 of the college football playoffs. Of course, they'd have to play Wisconsin after that. Indiana's got the toughest schedule that there is. Like I just said, they're playing Ohio State this week. Ohio State had an extra week off to prepare because Maryland canceled last week. Next week, Indiana plays Maryland, who's canceled again this week, so they get yet another week off. So they'll have an extra week to prepare for Indiana as well. Then Indiana has to play Wisconsin. At Wisconsin, probably right now one of the hottest teams in the Big Ten. That's a big game this weekend for them. That you'll know about, they're playing Northwestern this weekend, so the Big Ten West. We're also going to see the 2 best teams on both sides of the ledger play this weekend, Verdell.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting, man. I think but to piggyback off what you just said, you beat Ohio State, man. That momentum keeps on going, and if we're gonna have a national championship year, why make it easy? Let's go all the way and be all the top teams in one year. But I think tomorrow is going to be a huge game. Obviously, if they get the win, it changes the whole future of Indiana football and what it means to be a Hoosier at Indiana for football. Beating Ohio State and Michigan in the same year, not sure when the last time that's happened. But if it's going to happen this year,
not in your lifetime.
Exactly. But, I mean, hey, it's 2020 as well, so anything can happen.
And the women's team, the coaches poll came out. I think that was today. It just came out, or yesterday maybe. But they're number 15 in the coaches poll, preseason poll. They're number 16 in the AP preseason AP poll. I think that's a first. But they're starting the season inside the top 15 and 16 of those 2 polls, which is shows great promise for them. Indiana's picked to win. Women picked to win the conference on top of that, Verdell. So. Man, things going pretty good at Indiana right now. They get the men's program going. They're kind of mired there and trying to get back up to the top 2. But, man, that's going to be a tougher road to hoe this year than most.
Definitely. I mean, the Big Ten is loaded. But, I am happy to see the other sports succeeding and making noise. That's great for the the whole program of Indiana athletics. We're always talking about being a basketball school, but I mean, soccer has won the most championships, and swimming has been successful. So, I'm always happy to hear when the other sports are succeeding. And I think Indiana basketball's on the right path. I do. I think, we'll have the right guys in there soon and make the right moves.
Absolutely, absolutely. Man, looking forward to it. And just another big weekend of sports coming up, but also Thanksgiving's coming up next week. We've got these numbers that are skyrocketing. The CDC has asked people not to travel if you don't have to. A lot of stuff going on like right now, Verdell. A lot of people moving around, and these numbers are going up. So, man, I hope people are trying to remain being vigilant about staying healthy. Wearing your mask and all that stuff. I know it's a pain, but hey, man, we just got to do what we got to do. But wow, we've seen a lot of cancellations and a lot of schools. I saw that I think Jefferson County, Kentucky, Louisville, they've just shut their high school stuff down for a month or so. No practice, no nothing. So it's we got to get through this somehow.
Yeah, it's getting rough, man. Even here in Illinois, the numbers have went up quite a bit. My dad's a high school basketball coach here, and they're telling them that if they do have a season, they might have to wear masks while they play. So it's real unfortunate. I've seen a couple of vaccines that are saying they're coming out. I just hope that this helps us get back to normal, because more than anything, even though me and you love to watch these sports and love to to talk about them on Fridays. Man, the kids need them more than anything. It's an outlet for them to get away, to escape the craziness that's going on in the world, man. So I'm hoping that they really do allow some sort of season, whether there's no fans at all. Just let the kids get in there and practice and get in the gyms and just give them another resource or outlet. Because if you don't, man, it might be a long winter.
That you ain't lying there, because that's another thing of keeping these kids, of keeping them active. It was difficult in the fall when they were having to do it, but at least they were outside. It was easier. Now we've moved everything inside, so things are going to get tougher. But man, hey, we got a lot coming up on the program today. AJ Guyton, of course, will be joining us later. Alec Lasley from thehoosier.com will talk some Indiana basketball recruiting. And coming up next, Van Waiters, member of the 1987 Indiana football team back when they were knocking off Michigan and Ohio State for Bill Mallory. Going to join us next. Can't wait. Looking forward to it. You're listening to Indiana Sports Beat. We're coming to you from home number 6 here at the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios on this Friday. We're back with more right after this. I thought you were at 9:40, Alec.
What?
I thought you were at 9:40.
No, usually 9:20. Do you want me to?
Well,
do we need to switch some things?
Maybe today, just because I think Van Waiters is coming on at 9:20. I thought you were 9:40. That's my fault.
Okay, that's fine. I can.
Is that right, Noah? Producer? Hello?
Usually you would have him on at 9:20, but you told me last week. You told me
that. I understand that. I understand. So I'm just trying to clarify. Does Van Waiters think he's coming on at 9:20?
South Indiana Avenue in Sellersburg. Call 812-246-3368.
That's a question.
812-246.
That's a question. Does Van Waiters think he's coming on at 9:20?
I sent him the stuff. I told him 9:20. I haven't heard from him.
But the question is, does Van Waiters think he's coming on at 9:20? Yes. So
simply go to the Hoosier.com and sign up. It's
free. You're awake today, brother?
Hey, I
got
can't
started late. The video's late. You gotta get going.
I can't hear Noah or Alec either.
We're not on the station where you live. We should be.
Well, you've got 2 channels open for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason my laptop won't. The microphone won't work on my laptop.
So
the iPad, the video won't work. So it's either one or the other.
Best golf course by the readers of the Bloomington
you want me to
Herald
join at 9:40?
Oh, there
Well,
you go. Now.
Has 2 fairways and bunkers, and it's open to the public.
I don't know. If it depends on whether or not.
Even the Eagle Point Pub and Bistro. Call 812-824-1100 to make a tea time. That's 812-824-1100.
My ear fell out. Oh, mercy. I like those and I hate them at the same time. Look at Verdell trying to get this thing fixed. Driving me crazy.
I'm figuring it out.
So do you have like two computers open or something? Or just two screens?
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, because there's an echo. Unmute it. See if you got yourself. There you go. Now talk. Cannot hear you. Oh, that's weird.
And with our bank, you get the best of both
I got
worlds.
Van
Our
saying he's going
easy-to-use
to
mobile
get
app
on here in a
includes
minute.
conveniences like mobile check deposit.
All right, Alec. Sorry,
So,
brother. We have you at 9:40.
You're good. I'll see you in a few.
Business products and services. Switching to Banterra is easy. Stop by our locations to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. The college and pro football seasons bring friends together, and Leroy's Tavern is a place to watch all the games every week with the NFL Sunday Ticket while enjoying $1 Busch Light drafts every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. Leroy's Tavern also features a $6 daily lunch special from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday, featuring a sandwich, fries, or onion rings, or a 7-inch pizza and a non-alcoholic drink for just $6. Be part of the karaoke fun every Friday and Saturday night. Leroy's Tavern, a West Side tradition for 50 years at 2659 Mount Vernon Avenue.
This is former Indiana basketball player Brian Evans, and you're listening to Indiana Sports Beat with Jim Coyle.
Today's guest is brought to you by Reynolds Family Dentistry of Solorsburg. You need $1 million smile for those championship photos, and that's exactly what you'll get with Reynolds Family Dentistry.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat here on this Friday. Coming to you from the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios. Hole number 6, Fidel Jones sitting in as always. Jim Coyle with you. Going to be joined by Van Waiters from the 1987 Indiana football team back playing for Coach Mallory back in the day when they were knocking off Michigan and Ohio State the same year. Fun times. Noah, just let me know when Van gets on here with us, all right? I guess that's a yes. Verdell, how you doing, brother? We're back here with Verdell, but waiting on Van to join us. Back in the 80s, back before your lifetime of IU sports, but that's when Indiana had their last run in football of being relevant in the Big Ten. They had a shot, actually. They were playing Michigan State for the winner. Got to go to the Rose Bowl. That's as close as Indiana's gotten. But back now, they're in a totally different position, in that same position, but much differently. This is a different type of team, and to face Ohio State tomorrow with that same shot to continue to move forward, it's amazing to see what Tom Allen has done in this 4-year span. He's done what nobody else has done the way he's done it. Now, Coach Mallory had his great run, but to see what Coach Allen has done in this time, it's just remarkable.
It is. He's came in and really changed the whole look of things, to be honest with you. I mean, the way that he's recruited and has gone down. I saw a stat, I think, last game that he's, really got a lot of his players from SEC country. And that's huge, man, to go down there in Florida and places like that and get those top recruits and bring them in. That just shows you the dedication that him and his staff have to changing that team around.
Absolutely. And then to be able to be put in a position to not able to play this game, but to be competitive. And I think that they're more than that, even though that the odds makers have them a 3-touchdown underdog. I don't think that's the type of game we're going to see. And I think that that's really aggravated Indiana. They need that aggravation, as you mentioned earlier, to just make that chip on the shoulder bigger. But they're going to have to protect Michael Penix. And if they can, I don't see why they cannot stay in this game. They have their skill players are as good as anybody. They've got a quarterback that's going to be playing on Sundays. They've got receivers that are going to be playing on Sundays, and their defense has been spectacular. So I'm not expecting this to be a blowout. I'm not.
I'm not either. I think, they have a lot more speed in the right positions than they ever had before. They got a bruiser of a running back, Stevie Scott, and like you said, Penix, he's a special talent. If he gets the time, if he gets the ability to make some plays, I think it'll be a lot closer than people think. But to me, like I said, the defense is the biggest difference, I think, of Indiana's football team than previous years. They just have speed and size and all the right positions that can battle with Ohio State. Obviously Ohio State has the 5-star recruits and things like that, but sometimes playing against a top team like that gives you the extra chip that you need.
Indiana's schedule came out. The basketball schedule, like I said yesterday, will open up next Wednesday against Tennessee Tech, but also the 20-game conference schedule that they'll be playing on that starts on 2 days before Christmas with Northwestern here at home, and the schedule will end in March on the road at Purdue. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at the schedule or not. There's just a lot, pretty much the same type of schedule as normal because they play the 20-game schedule as usual, but it's going to be a grind, especially this year.
It is. I mean, like you said, the Big Ten is loaded this year. I mean, it's going to be no nights off. Unfortunately, we won't have the luxury of using the Hoosier faithful at Assembly Hall to boost some wins. So you're going to come with the right mindset every game. And, I think, it'll be a good test early for our guys, and it'll be really a test throughout the whole season. Like I said before, I just hope that they have a full season.
Having they're having a normal. Well, I don't think you can use the word normal, but they're pre-conference games. There's 6-7 games, I think, scheduled plus the Maui, or with the Maui. That means there's probably a few extra games. It's almost close to a relatively normal schedule. It's a few games short. So I don't think we'll see the effects like we saw in football. Those guys didn't get to play their pre-conference games, those 3 games that you normally get to warm up and to kind of get the offense going and all that. Basketball is going to get to do that. And it's kind of funny because football needs it worse, but they will get to have those games. But some of them are not going to just be tune-up games. You got Butler in there. You've got Florida State in there. You've got the Maui in there. So Texas, there's going to be formidable teams early for this team to play.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of challenges quick. Like you said, it's not going to be just a cakewalk at the beginning. But I think that'll help prepare the guys, for the Big Ten season. Once that comes, there's no nights off.
Okay. I think we got Van Waiters joining us now. See there, Van. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you guys?
Cannot complain. Got Verdell Jones on here as well.
Okay.
Man, I was just talking to Verdell. This is actually before his time. Is the end back when the 86 and 87 and when the Mallory crew was going on. I mean, I was a student, and actually I lived with Jim Sams and Vince Fisher my last year here. I think you played with those guys?
Yes, sir. Big Vince.
Big Vince, man. Oh, my gosh. You talk about funny. Just the nicest dude, but 6'3", 300 pounds of love. Let me tell you, he could throw that love around if he wanted to.
But he was a heck of a player, and he gave it all. He gave it up. Every Saturday, he gave it up.
But talk about that time. I mean, Vince, those type of players, those were the scrappy Midwestern type of Bill Mallory players that came in and did what had not happened in Indiana for such a long time. We're talking about all this now, but back in 86, 87, this was the conversation that was going on then.
Yeah, you explained it right, too. It had a lot to do with Bill Mallory, Coach Mallory, and the type of players, and that was just his thing. Toughness, competing, no matter who it was, working hard, and doing it the right way also.
And now I see pads behind you right now, so that tells me you got some exciting stuff that you're doing. What are you doing right now?
We're doing coaching down here at American Heritage High School in Broward County in Plantation, Florida. Matter of fact, we got a big playoff game tonight. We win, we go through, and that's something we've been concentrating on. But that's why I'm in the equipment room right now doing this call really quick.
Now, and down in Plantation, Florida, we're talking about that. Tom Allen has done part of what he's done with his pipeline of Florida. He's a former high school coach there as well. So familiarity with what the Indiana program is coming into Florida now, surprising you because back when you were playing, that wasn't the case.
No, it wasn't a pipeline, but you know what? Coach Allen is doing the right thing. He's doing it. He's got the right coaches. He's recruiting right. He's got the formula and the process down, and that's why it's working. They really have the formula down, and I really expect them to be good for a while.
As you watch what's going on and seeing these wins when they beat Penn State and you beat Michigan, it's got to be bringing back some great, great memories for you guys, man, back in that 86, 87, 88, all that time.
It sure is. You know, I still have my Indiana stuff that's a little bit too small, but I somehow get into it, and and I wear it out. My clothes are a little bit small, but I get in it. I got to represent. You know, it's a good time. You know, like I said with Coach Tom, and I've met them down here a couple times. They're doing it the right way. And so it's a lot of pride, a lot of excitement, and I just look not only this weekend, but I just look forward to all the things they can accomplish because that's kind of stuff I believed in when we were there. You know, you beat these teams, Ohio State, Michigan. You beat these teams. This is not we're the small town team of the Big Ten. I always thought we were the Big Ten. Maybe I was nuts, but I happened to luck up to come under Coach Mallory. But these were exciting times. Playing in the Horseshoe, that's a privilege. Playing at Michigan State, that was a privilege. And those are the games that you look for as a young athlete, as a college player. Those games, there was nothing was needed to be said to get you excited about playing those games. And so I look forward to it. I think it's a big deal. I think Coach Mallory had a lot to do with it. Those players we had back then, it wasn't very hard to motivate guys to play hard. And it was just that time we look forward to.
Absolutely, and it's so much fun too. But and you look back, you guys were you were right where they are now, and it didn't manifest and follow up that way. But you guys really got the kind of the foundation. So when everyone thinks back, they think about those great teams and how hard they worked and how they were built and the type of players that they were, the Van Waiters of the world, and like the Vince Fishers and all those guys. And it was just blue collar, gritty, fun football. It was so much fun to watch those teams.
Anthony Thompson, Ernie Jones, Willie Bates, Dave Schnell, the quarterback. I don't know if you guys remember Dave Schnell raised his hands at Ohio State when we were there playing the game in the Horseshoe, telling the fans to get louder because we were so confident. But it was a good time.
What's it like to have your quarterback do that in the Horseshoe at Ohio State, 100,000 people? You're going to win this game, and you got your quarterback out there going, "Yeah, come on, 100,000."
Imagine that, your quarterback. You understand? Even though he's the leader of the team, you don't expect him to be that outspoken, that vocal. And to see him do it, it raised the bar, especially being a defense player. It's like, if Dave can do this, we got to really step up. You know, we took that, and that was a responsibility that he laid on us. So that was something and I think he got the first down, I think, at that point.
How important is that seeing that leadership from a quarterback, from the guy who's the leader of a team usually? How important was that, and is that to a team? And Michael Penix, how his importance to this current team?
There's always been, in my mind, two positions that gave you the feeling of the team: the quarterback and the running back. And that's what we had, I know. A quarterback with his leadership and the running back with his running style. When you have a tough running back, that sets the tone for your team. That's something that I've kind of picked up as I've played the sport for a long time.
I love to tell the story when Vince Fisher, my ex-roommate, first introduced me to Anthony Thompson the first time I shook his hand. I swear, I've always said this, it was like shaking the hand of a statue. It was literally like I swear, I've always said that from that moment. I was like, that was like grabbing a statue. It was crazy, but yeah, it was just what a fun time. Now, when you watch these guys, how much pride do you guys have in saying, "Now that's what we were doing, we were trying to do, but hey, we're still a part of that"? How much pride is it now swelling back up for Indiana football?
I got so many stories. Like, our coaching staff here, every day they're hearing something about Indiana. They're like, "Is this guy? Who is this?" What? So every day I'm putting in the group chat, Indiana this, Indiana that. Anything I can pick up on. My daughter, who plays soccer at Cornell, I'm sending her stuff. Guess what? And she's like, "Dad, I'm not." But there's so much pride. I mean, I got my little 9-year-old has an Indiana shirt. He's wearing it around the house. So this is a big deal. I got my Indiana basketball jersey hanging up on my closet door so everyone in my house can see it. And it is just a big deal. It's a lot of pride. And as you spoke of before, back in those days, I really felt we started a tradition with Coach Mallory as far as winning, preparing, toughness. And I say it a lot, and people go, tradition, Indiana football tradition. And in my heart and in my mind, I really feel we started a tradition at that time. are really, and I know there's teams before, and I know that people they accomplished a lot before as Rose Bowls teams. I think it was 67. But I just think at that point we really started to make this thing even bigger when we were there. So it's a tradition. I love it. It's a lot of pride to live down here, and believe me, everyone down here knows about Indiana football, especially on this campus here, because I'm always talking about it. And like I said, I wear my Indiana basketball jersey to work sometimes just to show that pride. It's a big deal.
We'll have to get you some new stuff. Get you some besides stuff so it doesn't so bad for you. But no, seriously, thinking about it now and the football, it's always been such a basketball school. But man, the attention that Tom Allen has been getting, the football program has been getting across the country, Wall Street Journal, ESPN, it doesn't matter. It's been everywhere, and that attention alone is just crazy for recruiting. I mean, kids like that you coach, or kids that are down there who are starting to hear about Indiana and put them in the same breath as the USCs or the Michigans of the world. That's crazy to think, but that's where we are.
I got another story. Just the other day, I visited a friend of mine, Frank Gore, the football player with the Jets now. And he was on the phone, a Zoom call. And the first thing I said to him is, Frank, you got to pay attention to those Hoosiers. And he jumped up. Man, you see them, man. They're doing well. They're doing well, man. You got to watch them. You got to watch them. So that shows you where this thing is at right now. You understand? That it showed me how far it's come.
The one thing that I've seen, and it's been with Indiana basketball. I know with Todd Leary on here, they're trying to really bring all those guys back together. Same with the football side. There's not really, the fraternity is there, but there hasn't been a great reason for everybody to come and support and be there all the time. And this could be that impetus to get everything back, to bring fans into the stadium, to get the players back, supporting the program across. And man, if that happens, you're looking at completely, and the program's already turned around, but you're looking at ramrodding a program that has turned around into the future.
You're exactly right. And you know what? We're talking about it. We're talking on my group chat. I've got Stacy Dawsey, Ernie Jones, Kenny Allen, Derek Jackson, Joe Ziegler, Isaiah Spud Washington, a couple other people, Andre. We've got a couple other people on our group chat, and we're talking about it. We're talking about actually, we can't wait to the bowl game. We're trying to make plans. We're going to be there. We're talking about it. We're talking about it, and it's out there. And like you mentioned, we're in the right place, and this is the right time. And again, and with Scott Dolson, they're doing it right. They're doing it right. They're making contact with people. And I really have a lot of admiration for what they're trying to do, what they're not trying, what they're doing.
That's amazing, Van. I am so happy to have you on and talk to you because I said I was a student back then, man. I had so much fun. Went back in those days, the Mallory days. I loved Coach. He was great. Loved having you guys on. Look forward to doing this again as we continue to go on because this season's going somewhere. We are going to a bowl game, or Indiana's going to a bowl game rather, and looking forward to where they end up because it's going to be a good one in Florida again. So we'll look forward to that. But wish you luck tonight in your playoff game, as a matter of fact.
Thank you.
Who are you guys playing?
Miami Northwestern. That's one of the big schools down here that people hear about a lot. And it's win or go home. And usually the team that wins this game usually will win the state title here. So we're looking for a big night. We got some pretty good kids on our team that are really competitive. Great school, great organization, great school, great company. And we're looking to do some good things. We got some really good kids, some really good coaches. Pat Surtain is our head coach, the former Miami Dolphin. So we're just looking to play well, play hard, pass on some of that Mallory toughness, and try to win a ball game.
Well, Van, I cannot thank you enough, man. Good luck tonight. Go out and win, and we'll follow back up with you, see how everything went, and I'll keep you in the loop on IU football.
Please do. I love it. I love every minute of it. I enjoy it. Some of my friends may hate it, but they're informed.
We love you, man. We appreciate you. Van Waiter's joining us here on Indiana Sports Beat. We appreciate him as always. And I look forward to doing that again. Man, that was fun. Verdell, I love talking to the guys of that era. He's one of the legends. I mean, dude played for the Browns. I meant to ask him about if he was a Browns fan because he played for the Browns, but with their turnaround too. But I can't wait to have him back on and do it again. Hey, he's still with us. Van, you still on there?
Yes, I'm here.
You know what? Before we cut away, you played for the Browns, right?
Yes.
Are you a Browns fan now? They got their turnaround going?
Well, behind Indiana, they're my second favorite team.
Well, you and Pat Graham. Pat Graham, former IU basketball player. He's a big Browns fan. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, I wanted to talk about that. Yeah, next time we have you on, I want to talk more about your pro career and all that stuff that we got to do that we don't have time to do today. But, man, I look forward to doing that.
Great. Thank you guys for having me on. Go Indiana. Anytime you guys need me, I'm here. And I'm just wishing everybody well. And I know we're going to do well. And I got a lot of promise and hope for this team and for this program.
Appreciate you. Van Wader's joining us here on Indiana Sports. We'll be back with more with Alec Lasley right after this.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Van. I appreciate you, man.
All righty.
Good luck tonight. I'm going to follow up on that game. What's your school's name again?
American Heritage.
American Heritage.
In Plantation, Florida.
We're going to keep up on you guys, man. I'll send you a text here in a little bit.
Make sure you send some of those recruits up this way too.
Yeah, that's right.
Listen, we have some good players, and listen, Tom, the coaching staff is always down here, so you got to give them a lot of credit. They're always here.
Friends,
Van, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Have a great day.
All right, thank you, guys.
Burgers, beer. We all want a winning smile.
Awesome. He was one of the baddest men on that team, man, and on a bad team, they were good. I mean, they had some bad dudes.
I never heard of that story of the quarterback Snell waving at the Ohio State fans.
Can you imagine that? You imagine the cojones there, baby? 100,000? Yeah, bring it. An Indiana quarterback telling the Ohio State people to bring it. That's funny.
I'd have got hyped. I'd have loved it.
Alec, how's it going, man?
Hey, this is Jim Coyle of Indiana Sports.
Good. How you doing?
Good. How was Tal and Tracy?
You'll find
It was
complete
good.
coverage.
A little bit shorter this morning, but it's been good so far the first couple of weeks.
How come it was shorter? They used to have time.
Well, no, I usually we're on about like 20-minute segment, but I hopped on obviously a little bit late there, so it was all good.
Oh, because of us?
No, obviously we just didn't communicate too great.
It's time to hit links, and there's no better place than the golf club at Eagle Point in Bloomington.
Got that hat, rocking that hat. Those hats I like those hats. I like how they fit.
Yeah, it's like I told you, I like these better than visors. So,
I'm a visor guy.
Yep.
Riddell, guy, are you a hat or visor guy?
I'm actually a hat guy, man. I just found my hat.
Oh yeah, look at him rocking those. I see it.
It's an old
No
hat,
matter where
man.
you are in life,
Hey, those are the best kind. It's gotta be old to be good.
You navigate where you want to go. An Ameriprise advisor will take the time to truly understand what's important to you and help you prepare for whatever life brings, both the expected and the unexpected, by providing personalized advice based on your goals and needs, and regular reviews along with digital tools to help you stay on track. With an Ameriprise advisor, you can
nothing new that I can imagine, is there, Alec?
control of your financial
Just the Mason Miller stuff. Obviously, they came with the schedule, so those are like the two main things right now.
practice of Ameriprise Financial Services.
So
Call
Monday's decision day.
404. That's 827-1404.
I don't think it's going to be any better for Indiana.
Nope.
And he's shot for Nick Davis at 20.
Verdell, I gave this. I'm going to use this on the air.
and SIPC. Does your bank offer the personal community bank?
You're not excited about recruiting right now, see.
I'm Dane Chandler, banking center manager with Ben, and with our bank.
I think that they're in problem. I think he's having a problem. I think he's got a problem. He's had a problem landing a point guard. He kind of got Christian, but Christian's only going to be here 2 years. He's gone, so you got to have somebody under him right now. You've got wing problems. You didn't get Kaufman. You're not going to get Miller.
Remember FDIC.
Who are you going to get? I don't think you're going to get Muhammad.
Friends
Who are you
together
going to get?
place to watch all the games every week with the NFL Sunday.
Now you're falling back on your second, your third.
Thursday.
Now you're dropping down your list of your desires. So there now your team.
Friday, sandwich, fries, or onion
I think
rings.
Coach Hunter, man. I think he's going to turn some of those.
All right, now it hasn't been enough time yet for his to hit. That's the thing. I truly believe that. I truly believe he's going to do. I mean, he's got a proven track record.
Keep up with Indiana sports on Indiana Sports Beat.
As fans, we want the instant gratification. He's got to give it a little bit of time, unfortunately.
Today's guest is brought to you by Reynolds Family Dentistry of Sillersburg. You need $1 million smile for those championship photos, and that's exactly what you'll get with Reynolds Family Dentistry.
Welcome back. Indiana Sports Beat coming to you from the hole number 6 golf club at the Eagle Point Studios on this Friday. Verdell Jones sitting in as always, joined now by Alec Lasley from thehoosier.com. Alec, how are you, sir?
Good, guys. How you doing?
We're good. We just been sitting here talking some football, me and Verdell, and I had Van Waders on before, but now basketball. Verdell said, well, the season starts on Wednesday, but the big decision coming as Mason Miller is one of Indiana's top targets now. His decision was supposed to be on Wednesday, but Indiana got it pushed back to Monday, basically. I've used this analogy, Verdell. I think that this is Archie's. You know how when you had that girlfriend and she's breaking up with you and you're like, and you remind her of those 3 or 4 good times you had and you get a couple more days. I think that's where we are here. I think that come Monday that Mason Miller is going to announce for Creighton, but I don't know that. But Alec, what are you hearing, man?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a pretty good analogy up to this point. I think everyone kind of thought that once he made that decision to announce on Wednesday, he was going to go ahead and do that for Creighton. And so obviously a lot of IU fans were shocked, disappointed, kind of all the emotions in one. And then now you reel them back in with hearing that it's not going to be until Monday again. I mean,
so you're telling me there's a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I think Indiana definitely maybe not changed his mind, but just made him think a little bit more, because his whole thing throughout his entire recruitment has been really not focusing on when he's going to do it, just kind of whenever he feels ready to, and really in no rush. So that's why a lot of people were very confused just out of the blue that all of a sudden in, a couple of days he was ready to rock and roll and make a decision. So I think people were a little bit happier to see when he did push it back to Monday, gave him a little bit more hope, but everything up to this point continues to push to Creighton. And the main thing is he visited Creighton, has not been able to get onto campus at IU.
How important, though, like the physical visit, he hasn't been able to come to Indiana. We can only see through video or whatever, but you have to know, as a basketball player that, okay, I don't get to see their facilities, but I have to imagine they're top notch. This is Indiana. So I wouldn't think that whether or not I got to go to visit someplace or not would really be the ultimate determining factor in whether or not I went there.
I mean,
but you know more.
I would definitely want to be able to visit the place if I want to spend my next 4 years there. I think that's definitely a huge factor. But obviously, we're living in different times too. So, each kid is differently. It just took me one unofficial visit to fall in love with Indiana. But every kid has a different feel for what they want to do in the process. I do think that it is probably a good situation that has got pushed back a little bit. That means he's still thinking and wants some more time to think. And I'm praying that works out for the Hoosiers' favor.
Yeah, the flip side is getting them on campus sells itself when you do show the facilities and actually see it in live. Because you see these other teams when they come in to play Indiana and they walk into Assembly Hall and they're all looking up and they've got their cameras out and they're all filming. That's you don't have that at every other place, so it does make a big difference. But Alec, that's where we are. He does not going to visit, and so that it doesn't seem like it's going Indiana's way. We don't know that for fact. I mean, he may end up picking Indiana, but doesn't seem to be that's the way the winds are blowing right now.
Yeah, and I'll say what everything seems right now, the last talk that he'll have with either of the programs is going to be Creighton. So we talked with IU on Monday, talked again with IU on Wednesday, and told me that he still was going to talk with Creighton one more time before making that decision. So, I mean, at the same time, a lot of people, obviously, if he's not able to get on campus, if IU's not able to have the last word, they could look at that as, again, another negative. But then people could look at it, after Wednesday, he made up his mind he wants to go to IU. Going to tell Creighton that they're going to be the last call and tell him that, hey, I'm not going to Creighton. But I just don't get the vibe that this is a recruitment that IU is going to win. For that fact that he was not able to make any sort of trip on campus. I think that for Mason Miller, I think that is something that he really needed to do. And unless IU absolutely blew him away, which recruits have been blown away by IU's ability to show the campus virtually. But unless he was really able to get that full feel, I think that's something that you really have to see in person. And, regardless of if he wasn't able to get the full feel this year, just seeing the campus, seeing the facilities, and one thing that for the recruits that have visited, the one thing that they are blown away by, and their main takeaway is the weight room and the weight facility, cook hall, everything like that. Not a lot of programs have that type of facility outside of the main arena. And so that's a huge draw for any recruit that wants to go to IU and that obviously ends up going to IU. A lot of that has to do with that weight facility and all the different amenities that come with obviously playing at Assembly Hall.
And then playing in Assembly Hall on top of that. But so now on the heels of losing Trey Kaufman, and now if this comes to fruition and Indiana does not land Miller as well, where do they turn next? I know that Muhammad is one of the recruits that's still out there that's a target, but he's not the only one. There's got to be more.
Yeah, I've heard they're looking potentially at some guys overseas. I don't know how much that's actually going to turn out right now. I think if you assume you miss out on Mason Miller, that next guy is obviously Amin Muhammad, but with the potential for him to enroll early in the spring. That's not to say that he's going to play, but that's for him to enroll early. So that's one positive that IU has, the fact that they don't have all their scholarships used up. They would be able to take him in and give him that scholarship for the rest of the 2020-21 season, which a lot of other programs don't have. That's in that final group of Georgetown, Georgia, Kansas State. I think the two main programs to really look out for that. Georgia, we've been able to see what Tom Crean's done, developed, however you want to say it with some of these guys. But Dwayne Wade, Victor Oladipo, obviously Anthony Edwards, who went number one in the draft the other night. The similar kind of position, similar skill sets to those other three guards. And that's a huge selling point. Obviously, all three in the NBA or did play in the NBA. All three, lottery draft picks, and the past two were top 3 draft picks. So you look at that, and it's hard as a recruit to say no to that, especially when you see what he's been able to develop at that position. But the other route would be the G League for him. I still think that's a very potential option. But outside of him, there's no one else on that hot list right now. So it turns to the spring. It turns to transfers, grad transfers. You're going to have a lot in the spring, and Archie Miller has to be able to land at least 2 guys in the spring and that could be Joey Brunk or Al Durham deciding to come back for an extra year. Who knows how they're going to do that with this year basically being a redshirt year, but. I'm not going to say it's total freak out mode and high alert mode right now with Indiana basketball and Archie Miller for the 2021 class, but it's definitely reaching that point where you strike out on option 1, option 1B, option 1C, and now you're looking at your recruiting class and sitting after the early signing period with just one guy, and that's obviously not ideal moving into the start of the season.
Alec,
and you looking at go ahead.
Alec, got a question. So. I mean, you got the ear to the ground. You talk to the players, and you kind of get a vibe of how a lot of the guys are feeling. What do you think is the missing piece to why we can't convert some of these things? I mean, I'm seeing top 5, seeing top 10 listings, and you got IU in there. But what do you think is the biggest thing that's not converting from interested to committed? I mean, it's one thing to be in those top 5s all the time, but we got to get some of these top guys in. What do you think is stopping that?
Yeah, I think the main thing is Archie Miller is got into some of these recruitments a little too late in terms of the head assistant or whoever the head recruiter is on the IU staff is basically taking it to the finish line. And these recruits have great relationships with these assistant coaches, but you look at some of the other programs, and a lot of the times, if they really, really, really need one of these recruits to land, it's the head coach who's doing a lot of the legwork. And that's been, I don't want to say, a negative or anything like that, but that has been something that has been brought up where, the first guy they mention is an assistant coach. The next guy, they talk about that relationship and some of the guys on the team, and then they go to Archie Miller. So I think that's one thing that maybe he needs to, because I'll be honest, at the same time, a lot of the recruits and the parents talk about how good of a communicator Archie Miller is. I just think sometimes he may get involved at the later stages when it may be a little too difficult to overcome that relationship with a head coach, in Mason Miller's, point at Creighton or any of these other recruits, wherever other, programs are in their top, 2 or 3.
Yeah,
that makes sense too. I think that,
that's a great question.
A former recruit, you're not playing for the assistant coach at the end of the day. You're playing with the head coach. And just from my own instinct, I remember Coach Buckley was one of the guys that recruited me, Tim Buckley, and we talked to him at first, and then right after I got talking to him, Coach Crean was constant, and I think that is a huge piece.
Yeah, because what does that say to you, Verdell? If you're the guy that they're wooing you, I mean, you want the head guy to be like, hey, man, I want to feel important, because it is. You want to feel like loved. I don't mean that to be silly, but you want to feel wanted. You want to feel like they really want me.
Definitely.
One thing I'll say with that is he's talking to a lot more of these 2022 guys. They mention Archie Miller a lot more than some of the 2021 guys. So, I think 2022 is going to be, I think we say this every single class, that this class is going to be, crucial. 2022 is going to be crucial no matter what. Obviously, losing Trace Jackson Davis, most likely to the NBA, and the potential to lose Christian Lander after his second season. So you look at 2022. Obviously, they need a huge class no matter what. But I think this is even more important now that 2021 looks like it's going to be smaller. Or even if you do have a decent size 2021 class, a lot of those guys are going to be either transfers or grad transfers with only 1 or 2 years left. So that 2022 class, they have mentioned Archie Miller a lot more, and I think he's doing a lot better of a job with that class than maybe he did with 2021.
Or 2020 or 2019 or 2018. So it took him 4 years to learn that he needs to be the guy being the head recruiter. But hopefully they've got that lesson learned and get that turned around, because if not, it's going to be, you can't do it without top recruits. You can't be elite without elite players, and they've got to get elite talent in. You have the state of Indiana where it produces a lot of that on its own, but like Verdell Jones, like AJ Guyton, there are guys that are right around Indiana that you have to get, and you have to land those guys. And so that's, until that happens, Indiana's going to be picked by the media to finish 8th in the Big Ten. That's why people see that and they wonder, I can't believe that. Well, believe it. There's a difference in talent. And I'm not saying it to be critical. It's just facts. See, these are just simple facts, I think, Alec.
No, absolutely. There comes a point where, we again, like I said, we can't keep saying, this is the class, this is the class, this is the class. He has to get it done. And I do think 2022 is going to be that class. And I think you can see that with the amount of guys that IU has offered. Some of that has to do with Kenya Hunter. I think you're going to see that effect take off, and Mike Roberts. I think Mike Roberts is very underrated in that aspect, but they're going to do their job to get those recruits kind of coming closer to IU. But it's, at the end of the day, like we said, it's going to be up to Archie Miller to be able to close. And to this point, we really haven't seen that outside of, a couple guys that were considered strong IU leans no matter what. So it's going to be very important and telling to see what happens with some of these 2022 guys to see, the trajectory of the IU program.
Yep. We'll talk about a little more Kenya Hunter next with Verdell, because he mentioned that earlier, and I agree that he's going to be a difference maker. Alec, thanks a lot for joining us, man. Make sure you go to thehoosier.com to follow Alec Lasley, and you can follow him on Twitter for complete coverage of Indiana basketball, football, recruiting, everything to do with the Hoosiers and the Big Ten. Alec, thanks a lot, brother. Have a great time, and we got a big game coming up tomorrow.
Yes, we do. Let's have some fun with that one.
Looking forward to it, man. Have a great weekend, brother.
Take care, guys.
We got a lot more coming up. AJ Guyton's going to join us next as Verdell Jones and me sitting in here. You're listening to Indiana Sports Beat coming to you from hole number 6 at the golf club at Eagle Point Studios. We're back with more right after this. Was that too early, Noah?
It was
about 30 seconds
located
early.
on the northeast corner of I-65 and Veterans Parkway. 33 has
It really doesn't matter because we go over the hour, so it really doesn't matter.
Local craft brewers and incredible food, all made fresh daily.
Man, that was a great question.
Post-win meal in the dining area, or meeting friends for happy hour to watch the game on one of Bubba's 50 TVs. Bubba's 33.
There's AJ Guyton. Look at him. He's in the house already. Got his pullover on. He looks all warm and snug.
That's what you get in Reynolds Family Dentistry in Sellersburg. Reynolds Family Dentistry has been serving the dental needs of Hoosier families for over 30 years. Let Doctors Roger and Jay Reynolds take care of your family. Just off I-65 at 809 South Indiana Avenue in Sellersburg. Call 812-246-3368. That's Reynolds Family Dentistry, 812-246.
Can you hear us okay, AJ?
I can hear you guys. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're perfect. Sound great.
Yeah, I have to use my phone, and I don't have a really good connection here, so see how this goes.
As well as coming to the Big Ten. Simply go to thehoosier.com and sign up.
What's up, Verdell?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Good. Yeah, tightened up. I see you.
We should be at for Indiana Sports Beat Radio.
See, I forgot to put my thing up. Let's see.
Now the warm weather has arrived, it's time to hit the links, and there's no better place than the golf club at Eagle Point. Voted best golf course by the readers of the Bloomington Herald Times, the golf club at Eagle Point is under new ownership, has new fairways and bunkers, and it's open to the public. When the round's over, there's cold beer and a full menu at the Eagle Point Club and Bistro. Call 812-824-1100 to make a tee time. That's 812-824-1100.
How you been, AJ?
In Bloomington.
I'm good. How are you?
No matter where you are,
play, man. How was the new podcast with AJ?
Navigate where you want to go.
You had Maury on last week, right?
To truly understand what's important to you and help you prepare for what you
feedback.
bring.
We'll wait till these commercials are over.
By providing personalized advice based on your goals and
I know
regular
I have to
reviews of
use my phone internet, but in my office it's not that
with an
good.
American advisor, you can feel more confident, connected, and in control of your financial life. Call Dennis Schneider, Heath Schneider, or Nick Davis with Schneider and Associates, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services. Call 877-827-1404. That's 877-827-1404. See Dennis Schneider at 236 North Elm Street in Henderson, and Heath Schneider or Nick Davis at 20 East Campground Road in Evansville. Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. Member FINRA and SIPC. Does your bank offer the personal service of a community bank combined with big bank products that you expect? I'm Dane Chandler, Banking Center Manager with Banterra. And with our bank, you get the best of both worlds. Our easy-to-use mobile app.
Hey, Noah, how long is this commercial set?
We offer competitive CD and money market rates, smart mortgage options, and unmatched
I have the
products and
same
services.
conversation every week.
Our locations to
Commercial breaks are 3 minutes. Why is this 4 minutes long?
That's all the ads you've given me.
Seasons bring friends together.
You don't keep adding them. You replace them. You put one in and you take one out.
You never told me.
Bushlight drafts every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday.
My bad.
Leroy's Tavern is a $6 daily lunch special from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday, featuring a sandwich, fries, or onion rings, or a 7-inch pizza and a non-alcoholic drink for just $6. Be part of the karaoke fun every Friday and Saturday night. Leroy's Tavern, a West Side tradition for 50 years at 2659 on Vernon Avenue. This is former Indiana basketball player Brian Evans. You're listening to Indiana Sports Beat with Jim Boyle.
Today's guest is Family Dentistry of Sellersburg. You need $1 million smile for those championship photos, and that's exactly what with Reynolds Family
Someone's gonna
Dentistry.
give me a better connection while this commercial going.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat, coming to you from the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios on this Friday. Verdell Jones sitting in as always. Alec Lasley was with us earlier, and we got to talk to Van Waiters. But now we close it out with the man, AJ Guyton. AJ, man, how have you been?
How you doing, man? I'm good. How are you?
He's doing good. He's doing good. He's working hard in school, so we'll let AJ get repositioned. But new podcast out with him on the Field of 68 podcast this week. Yeah, AJ Guyton on. I mean, AJ Moye on. Verdell, did you ever get to play with him at all? I know not at IU, but
no, I didn't. I didn't get a chance to play with neither of the AJs. AJ's a little bit. They're both a little bit different class than me. But always watched them. Always play. Always.
But yeah, AJ's getting repositioned there as school.
Can you guys
join us? Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
A great podcast, a new one out this week. It looks, what a beautiful view you got there too. Sun shining over there, looks great.
Yeah. It's a good day here today, man. But the podcast with AJ was really good, man. And he's I learned a lot about him. I didn't get a chance to play with him. He came the year I left, recruited by Coach Knight, but didn't get a chance to play for Coach Knight. He talked about that a lot, man. He talked about his passion and his love for Indiana basketball, his recruiting process. It was a very educational experience for me, and I thoroughly appreciated it.
Yeah, and AJ Moye was a different type of Indiana recruit. He's from Atlanta. He's not your typical of Indiana recruitment, but man, oh man, did the fans love him. AJ, everybody, fans loved all you guys equally, I'd say, but each one in their time, the AJ Moye chant, how he won the fans over. And I think of this because all three of you guys, or AJ Guyton's got just AJ Guyton iconic moments by himself. Verdell, you're in that iconic moment with Christian Watford, and of course, AJ Moye with that block, that picture. To me, that is my favorite sports picture in sports. I just love when I see that block every time. I just it's just an incredible picture. But so for all three of you guys to be in such iconic IU moments, that has to be beyond special. For all of you guys.
Yeah, for me, it was that's one of the things I wanted to talk about with AJ, and just to have him walk us through that moment leading up to an iconic moment like that. People always talk about my shots at Michigan and my shot against Temple. What was leading up to that is what the fans want to listen to and talk about, because it's a lot that goes in. It's just one thing off of that story, then we don't have that end result. So AJ was very, very open about that, man, and open about his love, and I didn't know, for Bob Knight and his love for Indiana basketball. So just to be a part of it is awesome, man.
And having been involved in iconic moments, both of you, though, but how cool is it when you talk to somebody else like AJ Moye and talk about those moments that you saw, but you weren't a part of it at all?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was just, I was reliving it with him because I was actually overseas. I was playing, in the NBA at that time, and I wasn't catching a lot of college basketball games at that time. But it just took me back to that moment, and just to have me reflecting on some of the things, the iconic moments and the special moments that happened for me as well. And I know I asked Verdell a couple weeks ago or last week on the show about his iconic moments. So it always comes up, man, and it's just something that we just prepare to talk about at the drop of a hat. The older you get, the more you appreciate talking about those things.
Absolutely.
And Verdell, same for you, man. Getting to talk to these other guys that are involved in those moments that were not a part of your years at IU. It's got to be cool to share those experiences.
It definitely is. I mean, a lot. Just the. Even to relive on Christian's shot, man, that whole situation was just unreal. I mean, and what's crazy is I remember AJ Moye's block when I was younger. I was actually, no hold me to it, I was a Duke fan at the time. He did that, man. It just kind of crushed me a little bit, to be honest with you. But it was an iconic. When you go back and watch that game, you just saw the underdog of Indiana at the time just fight and persevere. And it's one of those moments in Indiana basketball history that will just always live forever, man. And like you said before, AJ, he has a buttload of his own personal highlight reels of iconic moments. So it's just nice to be able to be a part of Indiana history.
Yeah, I was in Rupp Arena that night for that game, and this all of it. It was you had Mike Davis, you had Duke, defending national champion, undefeated, Carlos Boozer. There was no way Indiana was winning that game. And just it is one of these iconic moments of an iconic program. It's hard to make an iconic moment in an iconic program, but those are some of those.
Yeah, it is. It and like I said, just think about the difference. That, like if Verdell that's what we joked about last week. What if Verdell decides to just take that shot? And admits that we don't have that moment. So everything works out. It works out perfect. I had no doubt you would have made it because it was your mid-range shot. But just think if it happened the way it was supposed to happen. And at that time, IU was kind of the underdog, and had Coach Davis replacing Coach Knight's fans and supporters. Still not. They had to jump on board. In 2002, and that's what made it a great moment for Indiana basketball.
I agree. And AJ, I think that's what makes these moments so much special. Not just the shot or not just the block or whatever, but it's all the small stories surrounding it. For us, it was we were trash for 3 years and we finally overcame that hurdle. You know what I mean? For AJ,
right.
With the transition of Coach Knight to Coach Davis and the whole story. It's just those are what make those iconic moments so iconic.
What's been the funnest thing, AJ, that you've learned, these stories that you've picked up? What's been the coolest little tidbits that you found out that you didn't know?
Well, it varies because what I'm finding is when I interview the older players, the stories just come out, and I'm just enjoy, like, sometimes I have to go back and listen because I'm really just, I'm trying to control a show, but I'm also trying to listen to Steve Alford and Calbert Chaney. Hearing that Calbert, was going to redshirt his freshman year, how would that have changed things? Steve Alford brought me all the way back to the airplane rides when he talked about Coach Knight making him walk home from the airport. And then I started to remember all those airplane stories when Coach would come on the airplane livid. We call them the infamous airplane rides. Like when you take a L and you gotta get on that plane, and Coach just keeps getting up every 30 seconds, remembering the play in the game and coming back and cussing you out. Like those are those infamous airplane rides that he brought me back to. So it's an opportunity for me to relive, and to start to really, really think about those things that happened, back then.
And would you trade those stories for anything?
No, man. They because we all relate to it. Athletes relate to it. It's not Bob Knight players. I bet you, Tom Crean has some crazy Tom Crean stories. You know what I'm saying? And just when because coaches they get outside of their bodies when they've been training you all week, and then you go out there and do something they told you not to do that last week. They just can't they can't believe it. So. It's a brotherhood, and so when we start telling those stories, and that's why I want to keep this thing going in order to get more of those stories out and really, really, really connect this fan base, and bring it all back full circle.
Yeah, I see a book eventually a couple of years from now, man. You put all these stories together because this is just they're all fascinating.
Right.
I mean, and even when you're fascinated, when people like that hear stories and are fascinated, what do you think the fan base is going to be like? And these have all been just great, fun rides. And like I said before, they're not the same if anybody else is doing them. If someone like me is doing them, they're not the same as when you guys are talking. And it's fun. That's why I love having you guys on and talking. Nothing replaces that. And it makes the stories better. And like you said, it reminds you of things. How many things that you kind of forgotten about until you started doing this? I mean, what's one of the funnest things that you had forgotten about? Like, I forgot about that.
Exactly, and I like to interview those guys. And once I get into, I can interview some of my former teammates. Right now, I'm trying to, and I'm talking to guys that I've never talked to before. So these are all new stories to me. They're familiar stories, but they're all new stories to me. And and it's just something that it never gets old. I don't think something like that, for fans could ever get old. And I think that, we need, like you said, I actually thought, I was like, man, somebody need to piece this together and make a cool audio book to sell at Christmas. You know what I mean? For all IU fans to sit around and laugh at, because at the end of the day, they're stories that are funny. That at the time you was the butt of the joke, but it wasn't funny. But it's funny now. So tell me, Verdell, I know you have. I was not telling you to tell one now, but I know you have a boatload of coach stories in your brain as well.
Yeah, man, you're absolutely right, man. You just even that little excerpt of how you said that coach and I used to get mad and chew you out on a plane ride. I mean, I don't want to tell your age, but we had laptops when we were playing, so coach would be watching film,
right.
and all of a sudden you hear Burnell or CY or whoever, Vic, come up here, and you just hear him get chewed out about this play or that play or this play, man. So. Yeah, man. You look back at it now, it's hilarious, but during the time, it wasn't so fun.
Getting chewed out via laptop. Oh,
everybody take off your. Everybody take off your. The one I used to hear all the time is everybody take off your goddamn headphones. No headphones on the ride home. Like, dang.
I don't want to hear any talking.
What time it was. You couldn't have your headphones on. Yeah. No talking. No nothing. Braille, get up here. AJ, get up here. Like, dang, I know I missed that. We're gonna watch it 3 times tomorrow. So, but it's always it's memorable now. It was like we were on edge back then, like, because you start replaying every play in the game in your head, like, what are you gonna call me up there for? I missed that switch. I missed that charge. Dang, I shot it, a bad shot, things like that. So I love it, man. It's been awesome so far.
You're doing such a great job. It's been so fun following along, too. Hey, we got to take a quick break, and we'll come back and finish out. But you're listening to Indiana Sports Beat. Verdell Jones, AJ Guyton on. We'll be back with more right after this. We got like 8 minutes left. Man, you ought to put that together. That's a great idea right there for AJ. Put you an audio book together.
Yeah, definitely.
Damn. That's a
I thought about that.
You might get somebody on that.
You might get paid.
All right.
That's a good idea, for real.
Right here. Exactly. Yeah. I thought I was listening to it. It started when I was listening to Steve, and I was like, "Oh, this is an audio book."
Yeah, I mean, you got some legends right there already. You just take a little bit of.
We all want to
together.
Hey, we off air? Are we off air?
Well,
sellers for Reynolds Family Dentistry has been serving.
We're recording. What's that?
Are we off air?
We're live on YouTube, so
just off 565.
We can stop doing the live on YouTube thing, maybe.
I'll tell y'all when we get off.
3368. That's Reynolds Family Dentistry. 812-246-3368. Hey, this is Jim Coyle with Indiana Sports Beat Radio. We're now a part of the Rivals Network.
You got to figure out a way to kill the mics during the breaks to the recording, Noah.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's possible.
I'll have to look into that. I'm not sure either.
Yeah, I don't know if it is.
AJ, what are they talking about this season, the basketball season, man? My dad said they're on the use mask they play this year.
Really?
It's not looking good, man. I don't think it's gonna happen. It's not looking good at all. It's just bad leadership, man. They should have went ahead and just did it, and tried it for the kids early. If it don't work, it don't work. But they're waiting. I don't understand what they're waiting on. They think the virus is gonna disappear. Like waiting on a cure. Like, man, you gotta fight through this thing, man. You gotta fight through it.
I was telling Jim, man, a lot of these kids need it.
Y'all talk about adversity. Right, yeah. It's the mental health, man. These kids, it's already difficult for 7 hours. and then you have no outlet for energy to do the thing you love. You know what I mean? They take away the thing the kid loves. That's how you know it's not about the kids anymore.
Yep. That skate, man. I mean, it's just the bars in certain areas are getting worse because there's just no opportunity to escape. You know, it's like I'm on my computer all day looking at the screen.
Yep.
When I get done, I'm ready to go do something.
Absolutely. I mean, me, that's what I do. Like, I ain't never worked out so much in my life since I played. But I got to get that energy out, man. I can't sit around go do this all day.
Right.
7140. That's 877
I don't think it's going to happen, man.
36 North Elm Street in
I
Henderson.
hope so. I got a daughter that's ready to play.
Oh, see, that's what I hate it for those kids. It sucks so bad for them.
Yeah,
I hate it for them more than anything.
Thankful for the personal service of a community bank.
Any kid that's a senior in high school, my heart bleeds for them.
Banking center manager with Banterra.
Oh,
and with our bank,
I really feel bad for them. My daughter's only a freshman, so she won't be okay. But those seniors and those
we offer competitive CD.
What is recruiting gonna look like? What is how? It's just a mess that they're continuing to make mess of. Go ahead and try it. Let these kids play. I've been around it a while. Okay,
Leroy's Tavern is a place to watch all the games every week with the NFL Sunday Ticket.
I thought that was you. I was like, let me get back on the air. We'll talk about it.
Leroy's Tavern also features a $6 daily lunch special from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday, featuring a sandwich, fries, or onion rings, or a 7-inch pizza and a non-alcoholic drink for just $6. Be part of the karaoke fun every Friday and Saturday night. Leroy's Tavern, a West Side tradition for 50 years at 2659 on Vernon Avenue.
You do karaoke, Bradell?
Man, actually, I do. So my teammates, we used to after we get done playing or on the weekend, man, we'll go have a beer and sing karaoke.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat. Just in time for the funnest conversation I think I've heard all week. Jim Coyle with the AJ Guyton on as well, and Verdell Jones. AJ just asked Verdell if you're a big karaoke. I was like, hold on, I got to hear that. It's like we got to save that for the air. That's some good stuff. Verdell, you're a big karaoke guy.
Yeah, so during my pro career, I played in Japan for about 3 years. And Japanese love to have a beer or two and sing songs that they can't sing. So I fit right in.
There you go, AJ. Yeah, exactly. Are you a karaoke guy?
Absolutely, man. I met my fiance at a karaoke bar, and I hadn't put the mic down until COVID. That's awesome. Into hip hop, R&B. I mean, I am in the moment. You can't stop.
Oh man, what's your go-to?
It's my go-to is Snoop Dogg. What's my name? That's my and Snoop Dogg, Lottie Dottie, because Snoop Dogg, his raps are easy to rap. He's not complicated. So those are my go-tos. I knock those out. I might carry a ballad here and there, but that's exclusive content. You know what I mean? So,
we talk about putting an audio book together. I was gonna say we talk about putting the audio book together, then you have to slip in a few ditties there from there.
Right, definitely, man. It's something that I never would ever thought. It's almost like an out-of-body experience for me when I do it, because I ain't never been up singing or rapping in front of nobody. When everybody's bad, it feels good because everybody else is bad too.
Yeah, it's funny though. You guys that play in front of 17, 20,000 people, not a problem. But had a microphone to somebody and sing, that's a different story.
Man, it's weird. It was weird when I did it because I really just did it on a challenge. My fiance didn't think I was gonna do it because most people get there, they get scared. Like, I'm not doing that. And then once they do it one time, they're hooked. It's over. You do it one time.
Hey, Forrest is down in Georgia and asking, wondering if AJ has any plans to get with some of the guys from the great 70s and 80s teams. I'm sure you will be as you continue on, but next podcast coming out on Tuesdays usually, but coming up next. But I'm sure you got plans to just weave your way through the fabric of Indiana basketball.
Absolutely, man. I'm going through each decade, man, all the way through to talk to everybody and get their perspective on their time. So definitely, not next week's podcast, but the week after that is definitely something one that you better tune. You better tune into all of them, but that
That's right.
that 80s and that 70s, you change into that podcast after next week. That if you want to get a nostalgic listen to that 70s and 80s. So yeah, we definitely gonna touch everybody, as many as we can, as long as they keep subscribing and keeping me relevant.
Yeah, you can find that on the Hoosier.com as well. Just go to the top there and you can see that. How much fun have the guys enjoyed it? The guys that you've gotten to talk to, I know that they love talking to other players. And how much fun for them has it been?
For me, it seems to be fun for them. I haven't had anybody cut it short or not seem engaged. They literally carry they literally carry the conversation. So that's what makes it easy when you have people carry the conversation and just talk, and then it helps you to actually manage it. So I think that people, these guys, like Verdell knows that us athletes, we love to get opportunities on the right platforms to tell our stories, man, and not only tell our stories about what we've been through, but what we're doing today, and a lot of them love to brag on their families, and that's why I love to start with the family portion, because they like to give credit where credit is due to their fathers and their mothers and grandparents who've paved the way for them. So it seems to be exciting for them.
And the great thing, Verdell, is with AJ doing this and going back, he's touching different generations that and AJ, that you didn't really know those guys. And so it's a great opportunity for you, in addition to the fans, of getting to see these cross generations come together, which is a really, really cool thing.
Right.
No, that's super cool. And I think it
okay.
allows fans to be able to see how similar each generation is while having their own unique experiences, and man, I'm excited to keep on listening, man. I think that's going to be huge for you.
Yeah, it's been fun. And AJ, as you keep going, man, are you going to do these every week throughout the year?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how many they want me to do. So, I'm backlogged actually, just ready to put content out, because that's how I work. You know what I mean? I don't wait till somebody may cancel on me. I don't have a show, so I'll just as many as we can get in. I don't know. I got a feeling it's through the college basketball season, if there is one. So as long as they keep supporting them, and I'm gonna keep putting them out. So.
And if fans will keep listening, man, we'll love them. We'll keep pushing them as well. Make sure you catch the latest one with AJ Moye. He's got a new one. It'll come out on Tuesday. You can find those on AJ's Twitter, and you can find them everywhere. The Field of 68 podcast. Go ahead. Where all they can find them, AJ?
Yeah. Yep. Field of 68 podcast network. House of Hoosier. Type in House of Hoosier on Spotify, Apple. You can the link is in the bio of my Instagram at AJ Guyton 25, and of course we share a lot on Twitter at AJ Guyton. So you can find them everywhere.
And at the Hoosier.com's at the very top of the page, there's a banner there. You guys can find it as well. This weekend, the big game, AJ and Verdell, and Indiana, Ohio State, top 10 matchup. Got Gus Johnson on the call, noon on Fox. Man, I am so looking forward to this football game.
Man, I'm a huge fan of Tom Allen, man. And it's always that team within your conference. At that time, I think when I played, it was Michigan State, that you always, that was the cream of the crop, and that was that hurdle that you always had to get over in order to measure yourself as a team. And I think, we got a lot of steam behind us. And I think this Ohio State game, Ohio State always has pros all over the field and all positions. But, it's something special about the Indiana football team. It's something special about Tom Allen and coaches who can, who can galvanize his troops and get them to run through a brick wall for them. And that's what, Tom Allen has done. One of those coaches that has transcended what coaching really is. And I think that, I feel it. It's this is one of those things you can just feel like something special is brewing. So this will be a great test. It doesn't make or break the season. I hope people don't take it that way, but it's just an opportunity to measure yourself and say, hey, where are we really? Ohio State come to town. Now we get to see where we really are.
Exactly,
Ohio
Verdell. Your thoughts? You gonna watch the game this weekend too?
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'm excited for it. Like AJ said, win or lose, this will be a huge kind of a marker to see how far we've come. I'm a huge fan of Coach Allen as well, man. The way he's motivated and re-inspired the whole program is exciting. And man, all you got to do at the end of the day is lace them up. We can make all the predictions we want, but you got to lace them up and go play. And I like our odds.
I like it too, man, but I like more having Verdell Jones and AJ Guyton on. You guys are the best. Appreciate you so much. It's been a blast as always. Thanks a lot to Van Waiters for joining us today and Alec Lasley from thehoosier.com. Man, make sure you go out, do something nice for somebody today. Please wear your mask. And until Monday, I'm Jim Coyle. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on the radio. Kill the recording when you can, Noah.